Hi, I'm Olaf the Code Coach, and in this video I'll explain to you the concept of fragility and rigidity in computer software systems. And we'll do it without code. So, we're here in the garden and I have got two cupboard doors that will represent the program. So this is the program, and we'll be learning about fragility and rigidity on this representation of the program. I've got a bag of bugs. All right, these will be our bugs, bug props. Hammer, of course, to fix the bugs. And safety is, as always, paramount. All right, I think we're ready. So let's learn about software fragility. What is software fragility? Software fragility means the chance of introducing an error when we make a change in our program. So a high fragility program, or just a fragile program or system, is one where we make a change and we introduce numerous errors, or likely introduce one or numerous errors. While a low fragility or a robust program, the opposite occurs. We are not very likely, when making a change, to end up with errors or defects. Let me show you what I mean. So I've changed the program to be a fragile program now. I put the fragile sticker on there, the fragile piece of paper, fragile program. And what does that mean? I've got a bug and I'm about to fix the bug with the hammer, of course. Bang. The bug has been fixed, it's dead. But what happens is that further bugs were created by fixing this bug. A change creating errors or defects or bugs, that's what fragility means. And of course we're not even aware that those bugs are present. I'm showing it here, but we wouldn't normally know about that. You would find them through your testing, or a manual tester testing it, or worst of all, the customer or end users finds them in your program. That's not a good look. We want to avoid that. Okay, it gets worse. Let's fix one of these secondary bugs. Okay, off the table. Now, however, fixing that has created additional bugs. You can see how this is almost a never-ending story. Hopefully we get to a point where when we fix a bug, maybe the program isn't so fragile and the cascade of bugs stops. So that was a fragile program. What about a program that isn't fragile? Pull that off. A program that isn't fragile, so I've taken the fragile off. Same situation, we do in fact have a bug. When we fix it, and go what happens? Well, no cascade of bugs. Okay, we're unlikely to end up with further errors. I mean, unlikely doesn't mean ever. We can still get a bug from time to time. We fix that, well, the cascade finishes much earlier. Such robust programs are much better to maintain than the prior fragile programs that we had. What about software rigidity? What is that? Software rigidity refers to the number of major modifications that we have to make to a program in order to introduce new behavior, like a new feature, for example. And a program which is rigid, which displays a high degree of rigidity, is one where we have to make lots of changes in order to get our new feature shoehorned in, while a low rigidity or a pluggable system is one where we have to make ideally no changes at all to the existing system. We might well have to write new code, but we have to make no changes or very, very few changes to the existing system in order to get our feature into the existing software, integrated with the existing software. There's nothing like a good demonstration. So over here, I have got a feature that I want to integrate into the existing program. Okay, this is a rigid program, so I will need to make changes to this program in order to push it in here. And to that end, I've cut out an area, and I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 changes. All right, I'm going to be using the hammer. I've got the glasses on, so everything's safe. So here goes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're getting there. But I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to change it to a rigid and fragile program. For these last 3 changes. Okay, here goes. And because this is a change made to a rigid and fragile program, we're going to end up with bugs from this change. Furthermore, more bugs. And more bugs. Look at how many bugs we ended up with. Just from all this effort that we had to make to our existing program in order to get the feature in. All right, let me put the feature in. All right, the feature is in with some difficulty. We had to make all these changes, and because it's rigid and fragile as a system, all these bugs have been created as part of making the changes to embed the feature. Okay, these bugs are a huge problem. Our end users of the system are unlikely to be happy about these behavior changes. Each bug represents a behavior change that wasn't asked for and is therefore hugely problematic. And because it's a fragile system, alongside a rigid one, every bug that we kill may very well bring about further bugs. Okay, so rigid and fragile systems are to be avoided as best as we can. Of course, a lot of these systems are older legacy systems, and there is a fair bit of work involved with that. But throughout my series about legacy code and on legacy code, we'll talk more on how to overcome systems that are rigid and fragile. Okay, what's a better way to what's a better system to have than a rigid and fragile one, especially a rigid system? How can we get features into our existing program without having to make huge disruptive changes? There is a way. Let's look at that now. Okay, what's a better way of introducing or integrating our feature with the existing program? It's having a pluggable program, a pluggable system. Okay, at least with regards to this particular feature, that's what I'm going to demonstrate now. A pluggable program is one where we have an interface to receive the new feature. and that's represented by these three little sticky out bits over here. Okay, this is the interface, and the new feature has got the corresponding holes to plug right in. Let me demonstrate this. There we go. No changes to the existing program. Sure, we had to write new code to plug the feature onto the system, but because we didn't have to make changes, there will be no new bugs. Okay, there might be bugs in the future, by all means, but not in the overall program. So the feature just plugs right in. And that's the end of it. Hopefully you learned about fragility, rigidity, and in fact a little bit of pluggability with regards to programs. Please like and subscribe if you want to get access to future content. See you later.